Good Discord server. All right, let's talk about this. YouTube, what up is Nisi? Trashville versus Singed. The Unlimited Singed. What a name. I didn't see. You should tell me what. Wait, you do go for. Okay, cool. Well, first thing I'm going to tell you is poke. Poke, poke, poke. Try to poke. Get in the habit of poking. The guy doesn't have flip very clearly, so I played a lot of Yasuo, so I'm not talking out of my ass here. I played Yasuo pretty much to Masters MMR on the 100 Games to Diamond Yasuo. It was one of my most successful 100 Games to Diamond things, actually. And I think a big part is just because I like to split push, and Yasuo does a pretty good job with that. So, poke the fuck out of this guy. I'm not saying go nuts on him. I'm not saying any of that. Just tax him for being level 1 and not having any way to play back at you. Get his pots down, whatever you got to do. Poke, poke, poke. Simply just don't get flipped. And you don't have to worry about a flip until 7th minion. And yes, fervor is applied. So poke him. And also you're poking to thin the wave. So poke the minions too. Because look what's going to happen. You're going to tank all this damage now. This is what happens when you don't poke. See? Look at all this damage. And we miss farm. See that? So use that little window, that level 1 window, we're ahead. There you go, poke. And now, in my opinion, unless you can find a time where Singed isn't pushing to you, you want to auto Q then E there. And that's how you get that minion. That's not what you do. You're not doing that anymore. This lane is a farm lane, and Yasuo top is a skill top, which means you have to be good at Yasuo to pull it off top, which is why I make fun of people all the time who try to auto-lock Yasuo top. So let's talk about the situation. Auto Q, then E. So you get that minion, as opposed to missing it. Next. You're not going to E in front of Singed. Because Eing in front of Singed simply means that we are going to get flipped. I don't care if you have to give up some CS, but you're this low, this means you're in dive territory now. If the jungler comes up. Also, Singed is managing his mana horribly. Lucky for you. So he uses ghosts. But see how he has lane control? It's because we keep eating these flips. Okay, so you need to shove. He just backed. Notice how you're just sitting here letting the creeps do whatever. You need to push the lane so that you can leave and buy, because he's obviously out of lane. Like, why are you last sitting? You have no health to play with? There's no point of sitting here like this. You need to get this wave to tower ASAP. And then back. Because now he can freeze the lane, and he probably will. There it is. I didn't freeze it. I might have. You should be teleporting. Teleport was too late. You don't want him he's gonna proxy now. So, see how I'm correcting like thing after thing after thing after thing after thing here? Obviously you're getting coached, so that's a good thing. That means there's a lot of shit to work on. But what I'm saying is, you need to understand wave management. Singed's goal is to get behind your tower and proxy farm. Your goal is to out farm him or keep up with farm, keep your tower up, and get big enough to just click on his team. Just run around, do Yasuo things and shit on his team. Taking free flips by Singed, taking free poison damage, letting him get behind the wave free of charge, not teleporting quick, Mantequilla, thank you so much for subbing with Twitch Prime. All these things add up whether or not we're gonna win. Also, don't worry about him. You farm. That's all you gotta do. Don't go back here. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Nope. Gentle creature, I'm coaching. These guys paid for this.
You want food?
What kind of food?
I mean, what do you want?
I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Do you want me to make you food?
I don't have anything in mind. I'm going to coach 2 more and then take a lunch break, so it's fine. At 1, we can do something. You should give me food for 1. Like Subway.
Okay. You missed 2 calls because I already got Domino's.
Oh.
And I did on your account.
What kind of Domino's?
I got pizza, but I had everybody else eat it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'll get you Subway.
Okay.
Okay.
Toasted tuna.
Toasted tuna. Your
Okay.
favorite.
All right. That sounds good. I missed what happened here. Wife aggro. That's what that was. Huh. So, yes, with proxy singed, you don't chase, okay? You stay in your tower, you get the farm. The whole gimmick here is that the only time that you ever worry about him is if you can kill him and do it quickly and miss as least farm as possible. So, if it can't happen, don't chase it. Like, if you don't know how you can quickly kill him, then don't chase it. That's fine, and you kept flash. Lane phase could be prettier, but he basically gives you a free one. Why did we lose our flash there? Okay, next time... Wow. Next time, just walk away. Like, he comes for you in a straight line, just walk away. There's no need for us to lose our flash there. The thing about Singe you gotta understand, there's just some champions that Yasuo does not get to fuck around with. Like Aurelia comes to mind, or like Tryndamere, or like a Riven, or fucking Singe. Like there's just some champions that Yasuo does not get to just swag on at all points. And Singe is one of those champs, so don't fuck with him. Just get bigger than him and kill his team. That's how you play it. That's how any time that you're confused about what to do in a game versus a champion, you avoid as much damage as possible, and you get big and kill his team. The game changes. It's when you do shit like this. See how you keep looking at this? Don't care about that. That means nothing. You hit all this farm. Every last bit of CS you must hit. CS check. He's beating you. Well, you're doing okay. But you should have a bit more than this. Because it's a farm lane. Your mistake here was that you didn't get space. Your goal in this situation is not, I mean, first of all, without vision and without flash, Skarner and Singe can kill you very easily. The next thing, sorry, is after you've spaced out here, you need to use minions to continue spacing, and then you can decide how you want to play it. But you can't go back this way. This is no-go. Because he has flip. That's why you get caught. Should have just run through minions, Q to get your knock-up going, and just bounce. Use the plants. Remember, carry champs, because of plants, you can always just go somewhere into their jungle and jump around with some plants. Okay? Keep that in mind. Carry champs are good now. But yeah, you could have gotten out of that. Weird to dash back into the poison. Notice how you're getting into the Yasuo trap of trying to fight the world. No wind wall. Don't know why. That noise. So yeah, as far as laning goes this game, all I see is Yasuo spazzing out. And very little control over CS. And that's not going to win you very often games in the top lane. Okay? Not trying to be a dick to you. I'm trying to make it so that you can play this champion in the top lane and win. I'm seeing you run around the map like a Goomba, lose your tower early, fall behind in CS, take questionable fights, take questionable poke damage in lane, and have very, very little control over the outcome of the game. Our goal as Yasuo top: farm well, hit power spikes. Anytime we can't win the lane. And in my opinion, if you're playing Yasuo top, you're not going to be winning the lane versus Singed very often by killing him. It's going to be more about just out farming him and then taking the advantages when they're given to you. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Spirit of Hell. So first things first. All right, 100 games to yeah. Let's go back and talk about the trash row account that I ran a while back. Whatever build you want to, I mean, honestly, for top lane Yasuo, I don't even know what people are running for top lane Yasuo these days, but I'm sure we can find out. I imagine it's going to be Phantom Dancer a lot of the time. Some people still... It looks like some people still use Frozen Mallet. FTA, thanks for subbing. Love you so much, man. Yeah. It looks like Phantom Dancer's pretty common. You'll see Triforce a lot. Phantom Dancer Triforce looks pretty juicy, and then probably Merc Treads and what it's not even so much that the items that are an issue. It's the fact that the reason I'm going over this is that your goal going into lane from minute 2 is that we aren't trying to beat this guy by swagging on him in lane. That's all Yasuo's do. Okay? And Singe does you a favor. Mexican Orphan, thank you so much. Make sure you get your replay to my mods, okay? Your goal is... You're not trying to do this fucking dash, and outplay Singed. Singe does you a favor. He actually puts you in the position where you want to be. By virtue of being Singed, which is most Yasuo's just auto-shove lane, get ganked, flame their team. Sometimes they snowball. Most of the time they feed. That's top lane. I've played with many Yasuo top lanes, and they mostly suck. They mostly feed. Like 75% to 85% of the time, they go top lane, they feed. Very rarely do I see one that actually plays it right. The goal with Yasuo top, when you play it, and why it works so well with the 100 games to diamond challenge, was that I understood the power spikes. And I am not a good Yasuo player at all. I'm really not. The only thing that I'm really good at is understanding, like, I need to windwall stuff, I need to auto before I ult, and I understand top lane. So Singe is going to push to you, right? Yeah, I will. Singe is going to push to you. So your goal is to simply farm well and hit items. And then you loosen the aggression. As you get bigger, you loosen the aggression. As you finish, you know, Hex Drinker, Phantom Dancer, Merc Treads, as you start finishing those items, the amount of playing back at your opponents you do, you loosen that up. But if you allow yourself to get poked down, to miss farm, to chase Singe, to get ganked, all that stuff, you lose those spikes, and you lose them at windows where they're actually strong. You need to be keeping your XP and your farm up, because your late game is monstrous. Yasuo is like one of the only champs that can split into just like it like split into so many different champs. Like so many champs he can split into that other champions can't. I can't split, like, if you play Jax, you can't split into TF. If you play Tryndamere, you can't split into Vayne. Like, Yasuo can. Like, Yasuo will. He will split into Vayne, he'll split into TF, he'll split into just all sorts of shit that he should not be able to split into because of windwall. So it's more about getting to our items and to our power spikes, and less about outplaying and all this fancy bullshit that Yasuo players do. Okay? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit once we start getting items. So re-engage there without ult is silly, for obvious reasons. What you're really looking to do is, after taking a fight that's favorable, you have the number lead, go back and push a lane. Go and farm top. Shove top, get a tower. Instead, you re-engage without ult and get picked off. Right? Also, there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of good arguments for Merc Treads here. Plenty of slows and CC and shit that you can run into that Merc Treads will help you out a lot with. Why aren't you? You should be pushing. You should be pushing. You have 4 teammates towards the bottom of your... Like, your teammates are not going to give this away, so just keep going. Your teammates can't just give this away. They won't. So next time, keep pushing there. And draw pressure, then back. Here. Keep pushing. Wait, don't keep pushing. Hold on. This actually might be a good time to TP. We'll see what happens. I think a TP here is actually correct. If we're talking about the best times to TP, this one wouldn't be... Well, Ezreal's still spawning. I don't know, probably just back right here. You just back. Back and hope for the best. Wow. The issue with that is that you waste your wind wall, and a lot of the times I don't think you have a plan on where your wind wall should be going. The only thing that really screws you in this fight, look at when you're leaving the base. You're wind walling just to wind wall. See how you wind wall? It doesn't really make much sense to me. Think about what your wind wall is going to be blocking, and that will help you a lot. Right here, your wind wall needs to block Vayne. Who cares about Talon? Talon's not going to one-shot you without ult a lot. Your wind wall needs to be for Thresh and Vayne. But because it's on cooldown, you don't throw your wind wall out and lead with the tornado. So like there, Q goes out, wind wall goes out right behind it. There you go. You got your engage on Vayne that you want. You probably get Skarner ulted either way, but at the very least, you can start up and engage. Or decide if you want to follow up and engage. But fuck your team. Who cares about your teammates? Don't try to save your teammates. Try to carry the game. Your teammates are going to die. You save them, they're just going to die anyways. Yeah, we needed to win our lane versus comp, and we did not. At least not convincingly. We get a decent fight here. The team decides to do Baron, which is correct, which is what you want to do. Although I actually don't know if you can. If Singe rotates, you can't. If he rotates, you can't, and he rotates, so now you cannot do it. See, you should be backing away here. Reason why is because Singe is too tanky in a Baron pit. So no matter what happens, you're never going to be able to get this down. He's just going to annoy the shit out of your team. So the better option is to try to kill him if you can. You smartly get out. Good job. Rayscat has a fever and he lost the raffle. GG. Always auto before ulting. And you would have gotten that kill. That's actually a perfect example of why you do it. That was like picture perfect. That's why you auto before you ult. Notice how you spaz out? Auto the Vayne once before ulting. You might even be able to get 2 autos in with your attack speed. I'm not entirely sure. That's why you missed that kill. True to form. And you probably could have gotten out. Damn, dude. No bullshit.
Rampage.
Good shove. I see you're scared of Skarner. I don't blame you. And there, you're fighting a Baron team, and that's where I think I should stop. So let's talk about that. They have Baron. Spirit. They still have it. They have it for another quarter. So your goal is to just wave clear and wait out Baron. And you allow this fight to happen. Even though it's 4v5. You need to wait out Baron and keep lanes pushed. Your team fights. And you can try to help your team. But the goal is to leave, not to stay. Notice how you go right back in. Sin's just running away. You go right back into the fight. Into the Baron minions and all. So let's go over this in summary, alright? First things first. If you're going to play top Yasuo, most of you shouldn't play it. Spirit of Hell, you can do whatever you want. You got coaching by me. I'm going to tell you how to play it. Okay? The goal is to hit power spikes above all else. Avoid fighting early. Hit all the farm and hit power spikes. Your farm, you should be at about 280 by this point. And your def should be a lot lower and you should have big XP. If we had focused on the farm, because it's cinched, he's going to proxy all the time, right? Focus on staying top and just being a wall, getting the farm, letting the lane push to you, and hitting your items. Whatever your item's going to be. Hex Drinker, Phantom Dancer, probably not that bad here. I would still like Merc Treads, or I would like to see Merc Treads a lot. Okay? Then as you get those items, you loosen up. But the goal, it needs to look controlled. I very rarely... And this isn't to be a dick, but I very rarely see Yasuos that know how to play Yasuo top. Very, very rarely. Like I said, like 85% of the time, Yasuo top should not be playing Yasuo top. The only way that they win, in those rare cases where those guys will win, is because their teammates basically hold them up until they get items. In most cases, the Yasuos just kind of feed early, and then they catch back up because Yasuo is kind of one of those champs where once he gets items, he can win a team fight on his own. The goal is that, see, Yasuo isn't like Riven. He doesn't have like crazy lane control. You just let every lane come to you in most cases and hold out until you get your items, and then you can loosen up. All right. Overall, the things you need to work on is understanding where your strengths are and the understanding in team fights. Like wind walls need to be used on shit that makes sense. It's not just like throw fucking wind walls out everywhere every time. Think before the fight starts. Like, what do I need to wind wall? And then that way, when the fight breaks out, you know exactly what you're looking for and what you're going to focus on, and then you'll wind wall it every time. And then the textbook Yasuo flop of not autoing before ulting. If you hit a tornado, stop and auto the guy. If you have high attack speed, you might even be able to get 2 autos off before ulting. But there's absolutely no point in just ulting off of a knockup. It makes no sense. Yasuo has extra crits, extra damage, and he has fervor, so you want to stack fervor, add damage, and add the ult. That amplifies the amount of damage you do and secures more kills in team fights. But yeah, this game, there's no reason why we shouldn't be controlling top lane. Sins with Ignite, not particularly a good player, dies to us in lane. We could have gotten huge farm, huge level leads, and controlled the entire match. But it takes practice. Hopefully this will help you. Alright? YouTube, thank you so much for watching the Yasuo gameplay. Please like, subscribe, all that bullshit. It's Nisi, and I'm out. Peace. Cracks. Thanks so much.